401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos, wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas, topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too. Perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate. Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
This is Nick Wyman with your sports update. After a win over USC on Saturday, the Nebraska men's basketball team is in action tonight against UCLA. With a victory over the Bruins, the Cornhuskers will clinch a triple bye in the Big Ten basketball tournament next week. Tip-off between Nebraska and UCLA is scheduled for 10 p.m. Central Time and can be seen on FS1. While Nebraska baseball played in their first home game today against Omaha, the Nebraska softball team has their home opener this week as well. The Cornhuskers softball team matches up with South Dakota State for a doubleheader on Thursday, March 5th, with first pitch of those games scheduled for 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. at Bolin Stadium. Nebraska volleyball will make its Sanford Pentagon debut in April with a spring match against Iowa State. The Huskers are coming off a 33-1 season and their third straight Big Ten championship with a perfect 20-0 conference record. First serve during this match between the Cornhuskers and the Cyclones is scheduled for 1 p.m. on April 11th in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Nebraska volleyball spring schedule also includes a match against Creighton in Omaha on April 17th. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Old School, not with Austin Orman and Jay Foreman, though. Subbing in Nick Wyman back in for hour 2 of Old School alongside Harrison Arns. Harrison walking in the door a little after 4 o'clock and, snap my fingers and make a call to the bullpen, and all of a sudden, Harrison's in here with me. Harrison, how you doing? This is the first time I've seen you. You were out. You were gone yesterday. Whatever. How you been?
Doing pretty fantastic. Yeah, it was a great weekend. Well, it hasn't been that long of a weekend. I was here Sunday, so
your Mondays are part of your weekend.
Yeah, my Mondays are part of my weekend. So no, it was fantastic. Got some errands done. I'll be honest, didn't do a lot. It was kind of crappy out yesterday. Today's a little bit nicer, but no, just enjoying it. I'm sure you guys have been talking a lot of high school basketball because that's coming up here starting tomorrow. We'll be doing that for the next couple of weeks here. We also got some new show. Well, one new show debuting tonight, which will be interesting. And I don't know if we made any announcements on it yet.
No, go for it. All you.
The one and only Mandy Munson will be on air tonight. So For the Girls Club is the name of the show. She'll kind of explain. It does got a little bit of history behind that name. But obviously, Mandy Munson, former great Husker volleyball player. She's won a national champion. So should be a lot of fun. She's got a lot of insight. I'm not entirely sure if it's just going to be volleyball focused. I think she'll go in a few different avenues. But right after Jalen Reyes. So kind of makes sense. You have Jalen Reyes and you follow that up with Mandy Munson, who was also a former Husker volleyball player. And then, of course, we still have Takedown Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Ridge 11, possibly head coach Mark Manning will be in for that one, but we'll cover Husker wrestling for that hour at the very most.
That's a perfect lineup there. You got the wrestling with their season going in the high gear. Then you go to the volleyball. A lot of news out of volleyball coming out with adding the spring matches, Iowa State and at the Pentagon, playing Creighton at DJ Skoll. Should be interesting. And then Mandy Munson, who is a familiar face to the station. She's on volleyball post game throughout the last the fall to the winter until the end of the season. All 34 matches or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was good to have her on board for that too. Because I'll be honest, I'm not the one to break down the expertise in volleyball. Otherwise, I can talk about a win, I can talk about a loss. But if you want the real details, it may have gone right or wrong. It's good to have Mandy Munson in the room who can guide you down those conversations.
Exactly. Knows the X's and O's and puts the team on the back. That's all you need. As always, Old School is brought to you by Graham Tire Company, celebrating 75 years of service in the Midwest. They're more than just tires. They do all kinds of car and light and truck repairs too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for your service. You can count on Graham Tire getting you to the places that matter most.
Go do it now while it's nice out. We're always due for another blizzard, and you don't want your tires to be worn out when the blizzard's already hitting.
All right, you say it's nice out. I don't even see the sun right now. Like, look outside right now.
Well, I mean, it's nice out. It's not freezing. It's, as long as it's above freezing, it's nice enough to go get your car checked out if your treads are, wearing low.
Yeah, it's that time of year, and it's the weather's starting to heat up again. Fingers crossed. You never know. I don't know. You're saying it's nice out. I mean, it's not snowing.
It's okay. It's fine out. How's that?
It's fine out. Yeah. I think that's better. That's better. You're acting like it's like 70 degrees and sunny out there, but it is what it is. But as always, if you want to join in the conversation, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or on Allo channel 961 402-464-5685. That is 402-464-5685. Cubs saying Husker baseball got a 8-5 dub today against Omaha. Yes, DP and me talked about that yesterday. How Nebraska should never lose to teams like Omaha and South Dakota State just because of you have all the resources in front of you, and Nebraska baseball getting a win as well as that.
What was it, 8-5? I think was it.
Yeah, 8-5, beating Omaha. Home opener. They'll play South Dakota State tomorrow. We have a little trivia for us. 2052 says, trivia question for 93.7 The Ticket without looking the answer up. Where did Mandy Munson go to high school? Didn't she go Southeast?
Oh, that's a great trivia question.
Is it Southeast?
I have no idea. I know she's a Nebraska native, though, is all I can tell you.
2052, give me send in a text with the answer. We'll be talking. I'll keep my eyes on the chat. I'm locking in my answer. I have his gut instinct. I like
that. That sounds right, but I'm not 100%.
It's a gut instinct answer. You got to go with your gut. I'm not going to second guess myself. Like I should.
For some reason, I feel like it's like a small town somewhere like Ainsworth, although it's not Ainsworth, but
it's a volleyball state, so it would not shock me. So 2052, if you get that answer in this or anybody else gets that into this, love to appreciate it. We'll keep the conversation going here. That's always this 402-464-5685. But I would say I'm so used to these 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central basketball games, but we still have a couple more hours until a Nebraska basketball game.
Couple.
A couple. I mean,
we're looking at quite a few more.
4 hours and 50 minutes until the ball tips out in Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles, California, Nebraska. Getting a win on Saturday against USC, playing the UCLA Bruins tonight. Late game. But, Nebraska, it's a very unique situation because Nebraska has been settled in out there in California. While the home team, UCLA, was just in Minnesota on Saturday. So the home team is less acclimated to the time zone and whatnot than the away team. It's a very weird situation because Nebraska, they stayed there.
Yep, of course.
Sunday, what are the odds? Tyronn Lue and the Clippers are playing Bryce McGowan's and the Pelicans. They go and go chill and watch that game and just have a nice little time, just settle down and just chill out in California. Nick said it was like almost 90 degrees there on Saturday when he was there, Nick Sainert. And now they're getting home. You get a road game out in UCLA to cap off that West Coast trip and may clinch a triple bye in the Big Ten tournament.
That's what's at stake, and it'll be interesting. See if Cronin complains about Nebraska's ability to stay an extra week in California while he's out there in Minnesota. But I know they're coming off a loss as well, so it'll be a pretty hungry UCLA team. And I think on a lot of the bubble projections, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're kind of just sitting on the inside of most of it right now.
They're about a 9 seed, so they're kind of like on that Iowa range. Because they have. So we'll get into that, but 2052. Asking you shall receive. It would answer, I was wrong, and play the song sound. Dun, 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 dun. It was Wallace, Nebraska was the answer, folks. Wallace, Nebraska is where Mandy Munson is.
Do you know where Wallace is at? I don't know if I could point to that on a map.
Southwest Nebraska, I believe.
Interesting.
Southwest.
When she comes in at 8 o'clock, we can ask her about Wallace, Nebraska.
How do you get noticed as a recruit out there? Like, that's a very interesting thing because, you got to think, like,
John Cook's the recruiter.
You're really good. You're really good. And you can
go find it.
But yeah, this UCLA team's a very interesting team. Like, they struggle away from home. They're 16-1 at home this year. Their one loss, Indiana, double overtime. Outside of that, at home, they've beaten Purdue at the last second. They've beaten Illinois. Donovan Dent takes the inbound pass in overtime, coast to coast, layup at the buzzer to beat Illinois. And they're just good at home. Like, I don't know if it's like the ghost of Pauley Pavilion past is sticking with them. I don't know. It's a very, interesting situation. And Mick Cronin, obviously, He's a soundbite. He's a walking soundbite. You know, that's just what it is. You know, he'll say something, win or lose. They're not a great team away from the West Coast, but when they're at home, you got to watch out. So it's a sneaky game. Nebraska obviously already locked in the NCAA tournament, trying just to get that number 2 seed. I know Michigan State and them are trying to creep into that 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament, but Nebraska can handle business tonight. They can handle and get that 2 seed and go from a team that didn't even make the Big Ten tournament when only 15 teams made it to being the number 2 seed potentially by the end of the week.
Yeah, it's looking like a real possibility, especially when you look across the college basketball scores, like in the Big Ten in particular, the way all those shook out. Nebraska is sitting in a pretty advantageous spot, but it is going to be tough with UCLA. I think it'll be a pretty hungry UCLA team coming off a loss like that. And to your point, really good at home. Bildo, their forward, he's going to be the guy to stop and slow down. I think he leads them in points and rebounds as it sits right now. So, you know, I don't think it's going to be a challenge where it's going to be incredible if Nebraska, you know, loses. I don't think UCLA is that bad of a team. But at the end of the day, I'm still thinking Huskers should be all right. It does help a big time that they're at UCLA and they get to just extend the trip and they don't have to deal with that travel. I feel a lot better than being the Bruins coming all the way back from Minnesota.
They're also a team that, you know, I like that they got USC before UCLA. UCLA is a much better team than USC, and they got that bad half out of their way, like bad quote unquote half. USC made some tough shots on Saturday. Baker Mazara made some tough shots at the basket, made a 3. I mean, they made 4 threes in the first half. They made none in the second half. And then Nebraska was able to make their adjustments like they always have. I got flashbacks to the Minnesota game, not only because Minnesota was wearing the yellow gold jerseys and Nebraska was wearing the red ones, but it was a very similar style of game. The opposition takes the lead by 2 possessions. Then all of a sudden, Nebraska is able to kind of flip the script. Price Sanford, 30-plus points. I feel like he has 3 30-plus games this year. I feel like he's had 7 of them because he's gotten so close every single time. I mean, what a player. I mean, what a get. Like, go back a year ago or less than a year ago, Nebraska gets this guy from Iowa. He's only playing, 15 minutes a game or whatnot. Okay, let's see what Nebraska's rolled the dice on this guy. I mean, they hit the jackpot with Bryce Sanford.
Yeah, I don't think we realized how good of a shooter we got. Connor Sejan goes down, and I don't know if we see the same Bryce Sanford if we still have Sejan playing. Not to say that'd be worse. I think have both those guys on the floor is obviously a huge asset, but I think he had to pick up a little bit more of the load when it came to spreading out the court, and he's taken it and then some. He's been incredibly consistent, and part of that, those slow first halves, I do know that's kind of been a lingering problem for Nebraska as of late. But Sanford seems to get going in that second half just about every time. And a lot of it I talk about, I think the defense just gets a little bit worn down chasing the Huskers, and especially all the actions they do with their 3-point shooters and the dribble handoffs constantly, and they're screening for Sanford. You got to do that for an entire half. You start getting worn down, the second half opens up. It's not, ever an excuse to say it's part of the plan to be slow in the first half and not score a lot of points. No, I think the guys are obviously still trying to operate the offense, but I think that's where you see the pattern of not just this game, but I think you're right, the Minnesota game, and there's a lot as of late been pretty similar to this pattern. Again, it's not part of the plan to have this little start, but I think you do see Nebraska's offense just starts to wear on defenses to where they can't keep up with our shooters the same way they can in the first half, because it's kind of been the script over and over. That offense just looks significantly easier in that second half, and you credit to the Huskers too. They went downhill a lot and attacked them where they're weak, which is protecting the rim.
Yeah, and they're a team that's going to do that. Wilbur Clatonia, John, he said that UCLA lost to Indiana, but it wasn't at Pauley Pavilion, so technically they haven't lost at home. That is, and then he backed up, said, "Oh, my bad, that is incorrect." So I read the comment, I was like, "Is that right?" And I looked it up. No, they did lose 97-98 at Pauley Pavilion to the Indiana Hoosiers in double overtime. And then he says, "LOL, my bad." So, it's weird. So the history of UCLA, Nebraska. I don't know how much you listened yesterday, but
no, I'm curious where this is going to go. I don't know if these guys played very much at all.
No. So I'll tell you my hour by hour. Around this time, I looked it up. UCLA's website only has regular season meetings. So they met last year at PBA. Nebraska got the win in the first conference meeting between the Bruins and the Cornhuskers. 2016, 2017, you'll like this story. I will say that. This game especially.
I feel like I'm starting to remember a little bit of this conversation last year when they came to the Vault. They talked about the history.
So 2016, 2017 season when Isaiah Roby was coming off the bench, Ed Morrow, Glenn Watson were your starting lineup guys for Nebraska. Nebraska played UCLA in California, but in Fullerton. They played in the Wooden Legacy tournament. So it was a neutral site.
Right.
Nebraska lost that game to a fellow named Lonzo Ball early in the year.
No way.
Lonzo Ball scored 13 points.
We played Lonzo Ball? I don't even remember that.
This is like 5 games into the season. So this was before
the real hype
This is
started
before
coming in.
LaMelo Ball's famous high school score. How many did he score? Like 80-something, 90-something that game?
Yeah, he had like just a bunch of fast break layups where there were the defense just gave up.
This is before all that came to play.
So the Chino Hill Ball brothers, they're balling, but we're not to the peak of their hype yet.
LeVar Ball's not on social media saying whatever and whatnot. Lonzo's just freshman point guard with a lot of hype at UCLA. TJ Leaf was on that team guy. He played for the Pacers for a number of years, but yes.
The ZO2s are not out yet.
They are, that's what I said last night. I said, though, you can't buy the Triple B shoes. The whatever they like $300 or whatever they were.
Yeah, big ball brothers shoes.
Yes, for whatever they were. But that wasn't a whole thing yet. The only other time they met was 1984-85. This is where Raph came into play. So when talking to Raph's like, actually, they met in the postseason before. I'm like, huh? Like the UCLA's website didn't have postseason. I do a little search. Nebraska played UCLA in the 85 NIT tournament, second round at Pauley Pavilion. So that they have played there before, technically.
They going to win?
UCLA won. However, UCLA had the guy by the name of Reggie Miller on their team against Dave Hoppin in Nebraska.
So we played them when they had Reggie Miller and when they had Lonzo Ball, and then last year.
quite the history. And that's and then UCLA won the NIT that year. And Reggie Miller was the MVP of the NIT tournament, beat Indiana at Madison Square Garden. So Reggie Miller, before even the Knicks series came to play, he was making plays at MSG before then. That's a wild, like how do you go down the story of, Nebraska basketball, UCLA, and then, Reggie Miller actually has played in Madison Square Garden before, he became famous for playing with the Indiana Pacers there. It's a crazy
I don't think they got all those details last year, but you knew it was going to be seldom. You're going to go back into the history books. And I guess that kind of syncs up. If you got to go back in that timeline, you're going to be dealing with some probably more of the historic UCLA players.
Reggie Miller, he was a sophomore at the time. And Raph then got it wrong. He said that. He's like, his sister was pretty famous too on campus. Well, she went to USC. So
really,
UCLA, USC would rivalry. Try not to upset the masses. It was a pretty fun time. But yes, we went down the history of, because Raph last night ranked the top all-time Nebraska basketball team, picked starters and the 5 off the bench.
That was nice.
It was quite the show. But
he's usually pretty good at that because he's the historian when it comes to a lot of those Nebraska athletics.
And he was naming guys some guys who I've heard of and some who I've not. But it was quite the story. A lot of
arguments to the list. You're talking about 3 All-Americans and then
it was. I was
gotta take your pick.
I also just named some obscure players I remember growing up on because obviously Raph and me have a different time frame from when we remember when we started watching Nebraska basketball. So it was a nice little trip down. Like, this is interesting and whatnot. But Nebraska UCLA tonight, I guess it's not a must-win game. Like, I know I hate using that term because every game is must-win, regardless of who you're playing. But Nebraska can just handle business and go 2-0 out west and come back with all the momentum going into the postseason. I still think a 2 seed's up for grabs in March Madness too.
I think so too. There's definitely a possibility they can go get that 2 seed if they clean up Slade here. Then you get the triple bye in the Big Ten tournament. You win the quarterfinals. They're in the semifinals already. I think even if you just win the quarterfinals, depending on how the chips fall here, you might be able to punch your ticket. Otherwise, you have to make that at the very least a championship game.
I think, and then it depends who all upsets happen and whatnot, who you fall into in that quarterfinal game because you might be playing a team.
Because the quarterfinals is still pretty locked in with Michigan, Nebraska, Illinois, and then
Michigan State. Illinois has lost so many down. So one of those teams is of mention. More than likely, it's not going to be Nebraska because of tiebreakers. Will end up as the 5 seed and have to play in that extra round against the 12 seed or the 13, no matter or whatnot, because the tournament expands this year. Crazy. And then
just crazy. We might get the triple bye.
Well, it's because every team's in the tournament this year too. So that also throws it into
it's so much needed rest though.
Exactly.
Not as crazy as the Sun Belt tournament, but
that's what I was about to say. Where the 3, the 4 seed get a double bye, the 7 to 8 seed get a bye, then the 5 and the 6. That's a wild tournament.
I like it though.
Should the Big Ten go to that format?
No. We keep it to the Sun Belt. It's the Sun Belt's thing. But I respect the hell out of it.
Nebraska and Michigan get a 6-round bye to the semifinals. No, that'd be a mess. I can't imagine that. No. Keep it. It's a bracket. You don't. I mean, smaller conferences, sure, I get it. But Big Ten, it is what it is.
Just think of the run you can have though if you're the lowest seed. Like how many straight games you'd have to win.
That's they call it the Fun Belt down there.
It is the Fun Belt.
The Fun Belt. But we're gonna be right back. We'll talk about the women's tournament. They start tomorrow. They'll be playing less than 24 hours from now. Nebraska women's basketball in Indianapolis in the Big Ten women's basketball tournament. Right back here, old school Nick Wyman, Harrison Arns here on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew as we bring you live coverage of the 2026 NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The action tips off Wednesday, March 4th. If it's being played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, it's heard on The Ticket. Class A to Class D2 all week long. Join us March 4th through March 7th as we crown 6 state champions from the 2026 NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Starter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, old school. Nick Wyman alongside Harrison Arns, out of the bullpen, pinch hitting, whatever baseball analogy you want to use this time of year. As I would say it's nice out, but Harrison, I don't think decent outside, quote unquote decent. Matters how you want to look at it. But we just got done talking about Nebraska basketball tonight, 10 o'clock, still 4.5 hours till tip off.
Yep.
Get your nap in.
The brick and mortar will still be on. You guys can listen.
Get your nap in, listen to the ticket till that comes up, watch some college basketball, whatever you got to do to get it done. You're going home from work and you got to 10 o'clock tip. It's kind of like those Pac-12 after dark games. You got to be you got to be a part of it. And this is a true testament to your fan. It's just what it is.
I know people. This is the first time though that people are locked into it. I was talking to Jeff Essink over the weekend on his show, and he's a gym owner, so he's gonna be waking up at 3 a.m, but he's gonna go to sleep at 6, setting his alarm for 10 p.m.
Get up,
wake up, watch the game, and then go back to sleep. So that's how good Nebraska basketball is. It's truly altering the schedules of our fans.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. I mean, hey, you sacrifice a couple hours of sleep, you can get it back another day, and hey, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's totally worth it to watch that game at Pauley Pavilion in a couple hours. I'll say a couple. Technically a couple. By definition, it is a couple hours. But also, technically in a couple hours, tomorrow, Indiana, Nebraska women's basketball, first round of the Big Ten women's basketball tournament in Indianapolis, Indiana. Interesting game because Nebraska women's basketball is in a situation where you can't lose. Because you need a chance to bolster your resume.
Mm-hmm.
You ended the year on those 2 wins over Washington and Rutgers. But you have to give yourself a chance to play a team like Ohio State in the second round of that.
I was going to say they're probably going to have to win too, right? To feel really good about their chances.
Or not get blown out against Ohio State. And you got to remember bid stealers in other conferences.
A win versus just Wisconsin's not going to do anything for you at this point.
Playing Indiana.
Am I looking at the bracket wrong?
You are looking.
I am. They got Indiana.
Indiana 2:30 tomorrow.
So they'd have a chance to play Washington if they won,
or Ohio State.
Ohio State. I see where we're at.
You're not wrong.
I need to get my eyes checked. That's what I need to do. But either way, that first round's not going to do much for you. You have to make it through, and then if you get the opportunity to then you can go ahead and play Ohio State and feel a lot better about it.
Okay, I read the bracket wrong a little bit too with that Washington, because Washington's like kind of too low on that bracket.
It feels like the lines are zigzagging a little bit on like where the teams are dropping, but hey, you got to put 18 teams on there.
We might have to put up an eye test up here on the wall. We might have to get an eye doctor here maybe by the end of the night.
Either way, got to make the second round, I think. And then to your point, not just make it to the second, compete, and better yet, go win it. But if you get blown out, then you're holding your breath, I think.
Yeah, and then you're sitting with 19 wins and 12 losses or whatnot. And then like bid stealers happen. Teams make runs and steal those last, because you don't want to be one of those last 4 in, because let's say you lose and then you're sitting at home waiting, and then, the number 1 seed doesn't win some of these mid-major games. Teams who only could have 1 bid, like a Mountain West or whatnot, ends up with 2. And then,
do they really have a statement win on the schedule? I'm trying to think for women.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia, they beat them in Florida early in the year, around November. Virginia beat Louisville the other night. Louisville's a top 15 team. So I
think you're holding on to that one quite a bit.
That one's, you're really holding on.
Other teams are going to have, that's my fear, is other teams are going to have just that couple big games that they can have on their schedule opposed to you. And if you're sitting there with 19 wins, there's not a lot of people who are going to take a second look at you.
And the issue is those top 25 games they've played, it's just been one quarter that's kind of got away from them. Or one possession. Michigan State's having a heck of a year. One of the best years in Spartan women's basketball history. One possession gets away from you. Wisconsin, that's probably one of your worst conference losses. I mean, they're up and coming Wisconsin team. They're not what they were in the past, but still not happen. Oregon, you got a 12-point lead on the road at their place in Eugene. 5-minute scoring drought slips away. Ducks get the win there. Ducks are a tournament team. Maryland, that game kind of got away in the second half. Ohio State, that game got away in the second quarter. The list goes on, and they just need to get one. It just takes one. If they can play a close game with Ohio State, I don't know if they have to win it. Like if it's like a 71-70 game and you just got to hope for the benefit of the doubt. But then again, just looking at the numbers, not how the games went, you just see like a big 0-9 against ranked teams. The committee looks at that and they go, should they be a part of the field of 68? That's the big question. But if you can just get one, it could do you some favors. Then if you have 20 wins, that also looks really good.
At least they've righted the ship a little bit here down the stretch. Because to your point, it was getting to a point where I think what was their last loss? Would have been Maryland.
It would have been Oregon when they were up 12 on the road, about to put an end to a 5-game losing skid.
I think they got it. Yeah, I was gonna say it was a 5-game losing skid, and they put it to a 6-game losing skid, and then they finally started to right the ship. So at least they've got some wins, and it helps. You get Rutgers the last regular season game, which good go win. That's what you should do versus a team who I think Rutgers only had 1 conference game win at that point in time.
Correct.
So at least you've righted the ship. You're taking care of business. Now you're just going to be back up to the challenge. What can you do versus Indiana? And then when you go swing up again, can you go compete and finally steal one of those games? Or, is that record versus the top 25 teams true? And you guys just aren't quite good enough that year. I think they are. To your point, it's just a quarter. It's always a quarter. It's like, it seems to be the third quarter more often than not. But in some cases, the last 5 minutes, they're right there, though. That's why I don't think they're not good enough. It's just for some reason the pieces haven't been clicking the way they should, and just a crucial stretch, which just seems to be a lot of times in that third quarter or second half somewhere.
And they just got, the Washington game was a huge one because you're down in that one. Britt Prince has a shot at the top of the key in somebody's face. Washington got 3 good looks. It didn't fall, but you're able to just get back in the win column and end the year on and the win on a good note, and to get the senior day win against Rutgers, and now you go in the tournament play. You're playing an Indiana team that's very similar to Nebraska, like very similar. They're in a 17-13. They're in a win now mode as well, just where they're sitting. So it's almost like an elimination game in a sense. Not only because it is an elimination game, but also the loser might be saying hello WNIT.
Yeah, for especially now they got all 18 teams in there. The first round's all teams.
The women's tournament they only have the 15.
Oh, it's just the 15.
The coaches voted to only do the 15.
Okay, either way, I think that's enough. I mean, you're down there with those bottom tier teams in that tournament at the bottom 15. All those are teams probably fighting to get into that main tournament to avoid the NIT. So, I mean, all these games, they're not going to be easy. Even when you get to Ohio State, if you make it that far, they're going to be playing for better seeding. So it's a lot on the line. I don't know who stands out in the Big Ten on the women's side, like the juggernauts.
UCLA.
Is there anybody close?
I think UCLA is up there. They got to be. I mean, it's them.
I think you're right with UCLA. I'm trying to think, is anybody close
in the conference?
Yeah.
No, I think it's UCLA.
Mhm.
They have Betts. Lauren Betts, one of the best players in the country, and they've just been able to just dominate. Like, have they slipped up at times? Yes, but you have teams. They're in the same conversation of the South Carolinas and the UConns, and they're going to be a number 1 seed come tournament time, I think, regardless of what happens in Indiana.
Yeah.
That's another thing with this, too. Nebraska, it's a 2:30 bring your own energy game on Peacock tomorrow, on a midweek game on a Wednesday. Look who they're playing. They're playing Indiana. The game is literally in their backyard for this game. So it's a neutral site game, but Indiana's going to have, because Husker fans are waiting to see, if they do win that game. And then, maybe I'll make the trip down on Thursday to go see Nebraska play Ohio State. So it's going to be a bring your own energy kind of game against a team that doesn't have to travel far, going to have some local ties to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an early game, bring your own energy game. First game of the tournament, too. So there's a lot kind of a back against your wall just because of location, opponent, and then obviously the pressure of having to get a win.
Yeah, that's not fortunate. Hopefully the crowd isn't too big, but I'd imagine for them kicking it off, it'll probably be a pretty sizable crowd to get things going right off the rip there. Well, maybe. I'll be honest, I don't see the Indianapolis crowd or the Indiana crowd traveling very well for women's this year. It feels like without the success, they don't really show up in big numbers. 2:30
game. It'll be interesting. Real quick for the next 5 minutes, Nebraska baseball had a game today.
Mm-hmm.
Home opener. I mean, decent outside. I mean, it is what you expect out of an early March home opener game in the Midwest. Nebraska getting a win, 8-5 over the Mavericks. Getting a win.
You need that. I mean, we talk about this every year. You make it back home, and it's like, all right, boys, you got like Omaha or Creighton or South Dakota State, and then they somehow seem to lose, unfortunately, some of these lighter opponents.
Last year against Omaha, they suffered a 10-6 loss at Tal Anderson Park up in Omaha Metro.
I don't want to say the year before that. They suffered a tough loss as well. Like early, it seems like they go, which makes sense. They start the non-con season really tough on the road. You got travel. It's too cold to play up here. It makes sense. And they do well. They usually, past couple of years anyways, they've had some tough losses, but some really good wins to indicate this team might be on another level from years prior. And then they'll come home and lose to like Creighton or Omaha, like I said, South Dakota State. So it's nice to just take care of business because the guys clearly have the skill. I think the biggest question will be the bullpen from here on out, what that looks like going forward. But as far as the batting power, I think we got it. We showed that with Florida State and some of these other tough opponents. It's just going to be the bullpen, but it's nice to see it hold up against Omaha, because I know Omaha, I think they still got in about 5 runs.
Yeah, 5 runs. Cole Kitchens, I think you mentioned the offense. Home run in the bottom of the first inning to get Nebraska's offense going. They scored multiple runs in the first inning, and then he also followed that up with a double in the second inning. So first game is a home game for him, the Southern Indiana transfer, and hey, continues to hit. I think that's what's good about this Nebraska team. They have a really explosive offense. You know, we've seen Nebraska teams in the past. They've had the defense, they've had the pitching. They just haven't been able to hit with guys on or get a clutch base knock or whatnot. This team just feels like they're able to hit and just get timely hits and have that and play that to their advantage.
Yeah, because who was I want to say, was that Kansas State where we made the comeback, or Stanford or Louisville? It was one of those 3. I want to say it was maybe Stanford.
It's the game they won. They lost to Stanford. Auburn. You're thinking Auburn this past weekend.
They lost, but they came back. They made it close.
Stanford.
Yeah, it was really close, but it just kind of showed that Nebraska, even if the pitching's not going great that day, the bullpen, the batting, they got enough strength back there with multiple guys that you feel pretty good about, which to your point isn't something that we maybe have seen. It feels like it's taken a lot of heroics in the Big Ten tournament these past couple of years with guys just having phenomenal at-bats. But this year, it feels just a little bit more consistent. Again, with Omaha, you don't feel maybe great about some of the runs we give up, but if you're going to be able to put up that many points, and you've shown it versus, really good teams with Auburn. I know next 2 losses were kind of tough. Then the Florida State win was big. You lost to Stanford, but you put up a ton of runs when it mattered. This team, I don't know where the floor and ceiling is still, and I know that's a cop-out answer, but I'm trying to figure out where they're at because they're a good team.
It's baseball.
I don't know how, what the floor is, though. I don't know if we've seen it yet.
It's baseball. You take it day by day. Tomorrow, they play South Dakota State, another team that they've had trouble with in the past. Softball play South Dakota State 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock on Thursday, and then they'll play Omaha on Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully the weather holds up. I know there's a chance for rain or storms or something like that.
Yeah,
It's Nebraska.
Misty, like kind of. I don't think it's getting cold enough, but misty and just
it's
chilly rain. Maybe
it's Nebraska. You got to be prepared for every little bit of the weather, regardless. One day you might be wearing shorts, next day you're wearing a raincoat or whatever or whatnot. So
softball would be prepared. I know that much. That's a team where, hey, I don't have to tell you. Guess where their ceiling is? I think it's the national champion.
I mean, yeah, you're playing. You beat two top one teams to begin the season. You've beaten so many ranked teams. The Oklahoma State game felt like a super regional kind of postseason vibe. I know they stormed out or whatever. Nebraska had to leave early because of inclement weather there, and then just split that series. That team's gonna be awesome. I mean, that's gonna be a really fun team. And then right across the parking lot, you got Hawksville, Hamburger Park, right across from Bowling. It should be a fun couple of months down there for sure. And it's gonna go by quick because we're sitting here in March. Big Ten season. Nebraska's already playing Big Ten conference game this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Michigan State. And then before I knew it, Omaha will be hosting the Big Ten tournament. It'll go by just like that, Harrison.
It will. I can't tell what's we've around this time of year. We haven't had this many things to choose to watch and really lock in on. I can't tell what I'm most excited for. Softball, like pretty obvious because the chance that they have to be champions. Wrestling, which we'll have those guys coming in shortly. They got the Big Ten wrestling champions coming up here, which you talked about. Indiana women's basketball getting to host the Big Ten tournament. How about Penn State? Pennsylvania getting to host the Big Ten wrestling champions.
We talked about the pre-seeds yesterday. Me and DP talked about it around this time, and then we talked about it on All In with Ridge and them.
Yeah,
we talked about the seeding.
They're gonna have a challenge,
and it was very interesting just to see what Minto getting a 1 seed, and just kind of like and people can challenge if they're so many points away.
We only got 2 1s, right? Trelli and Minto.
Yes, and obviously things could change. They have till Friday, I think Ridge said. So I was like, oh, maybe it's like a Wednesday deadline. No, they have like the entire week.
I know Brock Hardy got the 2 seed, but we'll probably get into that again tonight, I'm sure. But yeah, all the sports, I'm super excited to watch them all. They seem to be in a pretty good chance to at least do something awesome. I know we talked on the women's. It's a little bit of a tougher road, but they're still right in the mix of things to make some noise in March.
It's March, and it's that time of the year, but we got a pretty big couple of days here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll talk about that when we come back here. Nick Wyman, Harrison Arns here on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos. Wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas. Topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too. Perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew as we bring you live coverage of the 2026 NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The action tips off Wednesday, March 4th. If it's being played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, it's heard on the ticket. Class A to Class D2 all week long. Join us March 4th through March 7th as we crown 6 state champions from the 2026 NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 12th annual Street Festival. The party goes all weekend long, but starts on March 14th and 15th with tons of giveaways, great Irish food, and green beer. And it continues on Tuesday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday, and 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And the street party starts at 2 p.m. all 3 days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's Irish Pub, located at 8th and P.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I Parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I Parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Old School final segment. Nick Wyman alongside Harrison Arns here. Close to 6 o'clock. Takedown Tuesday coming up here. Ridge Lovett in the building.
The national champ.
Sitting on the couch. Long time no see. You saw him yesterday on All In. We talked about the Big Ten wrestling tournament.
They came back from Albania, too.
Yeah.
Did you get into that?
We did get into that. That was most of the show. And we learned push. Ridge, I know he's sitting out there. He'll know what push means. Push, Ridge. He'll when he hears it on the TV out there, he'll give me a look. off the delay, off the stream.
Is it just wrestling lingo?
It's
Albania lingo?
Pretty much.
Albanian
European lingo or whatnot. You'll have to ask.
All right.
It's a funny story. They told it on the air yesterday. Thinking about the air, we here at the Ticket, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll have coverage across the board. Every game at Pinnacle Bank, you can listen to it live on 93.7 The Ticket, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday, Thursday, semifinal Friday, and championship Saturday, right here, the home for state basketball.
Women's International Day on Sunday.
What a tie-in. What a week.
It's a women's state basketball tournament, and we'll cap it off with Sunday with 18 hours of women's programming.
Yeah, and there's so many good teams. Nick Sainer will call the first game tomorrow, Bloomfield and Wednesday, he'll have Dundee County Stratton and Loomis. That's the Thursday game. Excuse me, getting ahead of myself. I'm just so excited over here, Harrison, for state basketball. I just can't contain myself.
Should be.
Have that game, Silver Lake, Archangels Catholic, and then afternoon session, Lincoln North Star, Millard North, Millard West, Omaha West Side, and then the nightcaps, Kearney Southwest, Omaha North, Omaha Westview. So, and that's just, it's state basketball. It is what it is. And then obviously Class B, we get into more of that on Thursday with all 4 of those games. And then across the board, should have some good games. We have great people calling the games, great people here in the studio running everything. It should be a really fun time. And March is here, is the way I would describe it.
Did you play basketball growing up?
I did. I was
what school?
I was a Pius kid. I didn't play basketball. I played, freshman, whatever. And, I'm not going to be going, I'm not going to be going to the, college ranks or whatnot. But, I like sports. So, and that's a funny story. So we're going to, before we get into close out the show, Bach was talking about some jump shot. Said he has the best. He could win a 3-point contest against anybody here in the studio. He said he can make 20 of 25 or something like that. DP was getting on him, and we're having a ticket Olympics potentially.
Oh, I would love that.
It sounds like it's a thing. Farley was big on it and whatnot. So
give me that.
I don't know. It sounds like something this summer that might end up getting.
I'll actually get serious in the working out, so I don't make a fool of myself. Somebody said we have something to strive for here.
Make a bracket. We'll have hey, that'd be a fun time.
The seeding might be tough to swallow for some. If we're doing seeding,
just like the Big Ten wrestling pre-seedings,
and we're not allowing national champs like Ridge Lovett to be in there. Just not the ticket talents. We'll keep it. Or you make a separate bracket for producers, because I don't know how well we'll size up.
Producers.
Some of these
winner of each get to play each other in the championship.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's the format. That's something down the road. But state basketball is exciting. Class B tonight, 11 o'clock. If you're watching Nebraska basketball, get to halftime. I will be joined by Norris girls basketball head coach Wally Johnson from about 11 to 11:30. Norris, the number 1 seed. They've been to state with him since he took the job. He used to be at Louisville, took the job at Norris after longtime coach Mark Hagerman retired. Been to the state tournament, just hasn't been able to get over that hump. So, and now they're the 1 seed this year. Who knows?
Some added pressure.
It is, and they got first game. They got to play a conference team, Blair, who they beat by 2 early in the regular season. You get that kind of matchup. And this time of year, everybody knows each other. It's just how sports work. Get to the postseason. There's 20 plus games of everybody logged. Everybody knows everybody, just how it is and how it's going to go.
You going to be attending at all?
I'll be working Wednesday, Thursday, but Friday night, if semifinal game, Class B semifinal, should be a pretty exciting one. So the Friday games are pretty electric. More than likely, yeah, I'll probably make it down there.
What's the best class to watch that you've had experience with? I'm in a C2 bias, but I usually say C1.
C1
is actually where the most competitive
C1, especially in this girls basketball bracket. You look at it. You got Milford is 25-1 versus Central City 24-3. 24-3 is the 8th seed. That is, and then you look at the other class. The 8th seed has 5+ losses, 6, 7, 8 losses. 24-3, and you are the 8th seed. Any other class, you would probably be a top 4 seed. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. And hey, seeds don't define you; they don't define you. And we'll know more about that when Ridge Love and them talk about the pre-seedings, because you don't have to be the number 1 seed to win a Big Ten title. Just ask the guy sitting on the couch out there.
Amen to that.
We'll be back. Takedown Tuesdays. Come out. Remember, state basketball tomorrow. Post-game basketball around midnight Central Time here tonight on 93.7 The Ticket. Nick Wyman, Harrison Arns. We'll be right back. Takedown Tuesday coming up next.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy.